Hey guys, assalamu alaikum. I hope you guys are all doing well today. It is April 29th, 2025, and the weirdest thing happened to me today. Well, not to me personally, well, because it did happen to me, but to the household. And subhanAllah, it happened like I think two and a half hours ago, and it just made me reflect a lot so quickly. Okay, so I'll just get right into story time. So randomly this morning, I was like, you know what? I need to get my basement cleaned. It has been such a long time since I last cleaned the basement. And that includes like brooming, vacuuming. There's just been like cardboard boxes that I would just throw into the basement that I would tell myself I would flat pack them later. So today, out of nowhere, I was eating breakfast and I was like, okay, you know what? Today's that day where we're going to tackle the basement. So we went into the basement, and very rarely, like I said, we don't really go into the basement that often. We're usually like upstairs in the backyard, and the basement connects to the front yard. And we don't go into the front yard that often, like rarely, because we have a fenced backyard so the kids can run around and play and I don't really have to supervise them constantly, whereas the front yard, it connects to the main road and it's very sort of dangerous for them to be out there. But anyway, we're like cleaning, the kids and I are just cleaning the basement. We're going in and out of the basement to the front yard, just moving things to the recycling bin, back and forth. And then randomly Zach, my 6-year-old, who usually he just says like the most out-of-pocket things. So he goes, "Mama, I think there's a tree on fire," or like there's a tree smoking. And usually I kind of just brush him off when he says things like that, because he says things like that fairly often, like really random stuff, like, "Oh, I think I see a dancing bunny," or something. Like he says things like that, his child imagination. So I was like, no, there's not. But then I look, and then there was literally in our front yard like a tree smoking on fire. And we were out there, and it wasn't like that like 15 minutes before. And suddenly I tell all the kids to go in the house. I get closer to the tree, and it's literally like 3 tree stumps on fire. SubhanAllah, I have no idea what started. It's not even that hot of a day today. It's literally like 80 degrees. So I can't be like, oh, I don't know what started it. I looked on the surveillance camera, and literally it wasn't like any kind of foul play. I was thinking maybe someone drove by and like threw a cigarette butt out. But I looked on our surveillance camera, which I'll probably might like include here, and there was like nothing, subhanAllah. It was just like a random, hold on one second. And it was just a random fire that, subhanAllah, just started out of nowhere. And the fact that we were there in the front yard to see it like happening was to me like something to reflect on, subhanAllah, because like I said, we are barely in the front yard, let alone even the basement. And we usually play in the backyard, and it could have been that like we were in the backyard like a normal day, and the fire could have happened and no one noticed it. You know what I'm saying? Like no one even saw it. No one would have paid any attention to it, and it would have like spread to our cars, because the car is right next to it. The car could have caught on fire. The car could have exploded, caught our house on fire, and then literally everything is on fire. But subhanAllah, we immediately called 911. The firefighters came, they put it out. But it just made me really reflect on like the name of Allah. Like the name that kept coming to mind was Al-Latif, which is the subtle one. Allah is so subtle, because it was like these little things, subhanAllah, that happened that led us to figure, like to see this fire coming as soon as it started, subhanAllah, to like be able to alert the firefighters to come to put it out. And literally it's like a normal day. Nothing even happened after that. But if any of those chain of events happened differently, subhanAllah, like we could have lost our house. We could have lost our car. Someone could have gotten hurt. And it just makes me in such awe, subhanAllah, of Allah, and the fact that He is constantly protecting us, even when we don't perceive His protection. And this was just like a reminder to me that there are so many subtle things in our life that we don't even perceive the danger of, that Allah saves us from. SubhanAllah, I was just reflecting on how we're just never in the basement, never in the front yard, but SubhanAllah, there's a bee. Spend time in the front yard, but of all days, thank you, Mr. B, we were in and out of the basement to just see it at the exact 15-minute time span that it happened. And how Allah guided us subtly to noticing it, not through something big or obvious, like there was no sound, there was no explosion, there was nothing, we couldn't even smell it yet. But the fact that it was just something so subtle that made us notice it, made my son Zach just see it on the side of his eye. And all of that from a random desire that Allah put in my heart to just tackle the basement today of all days, SubhanAllah, and just randomly at breakfast time, just spontaneously, this led me to want to do that. And so I was just thinking that is Al-Latif in action, SubhanAllah, protecting me in ways that I didn't even realize I needed the protection. It just makes me in awe of how often does Allah do this? It's for us, SubhanAllah. How often is He protecting us from dangers that we don't even know we were protected from? So that's one thing that I kept thinking about, SubhanAllah, as I was watching the firefighters put out the fire. And then I was just thinking of the divine timing, SubhanAllah, the qadr of it all, the destiny, how that was just written for me. The timing was just so perfect, SubhanAllah. The fact that my son saw it early and the fire was stopped way before it spread. Harun, come over here, please. Don't go over there. And this just ties into our divine decree, SubhanAllah, how Allah's plan unfolds in precise, perfect moments, even when we don't understand the full picture of what is going on. And we put in small efforts and Allah takes care of the rest. And it's just a part of having trust in Allah, tawakkul, that Allah does continuously protect, continuously provide. We don't have to stress too much, or at least I feel, because SubhanAllah, Allah, I didn't protect myself in that scenario. Allah protected me. Allah protected my children. Allah protected our house. And so it just increased my trust in Allah, that I am safe when I put my trust in Allah. I am safe when I rely on Allah. And so SubhanAllah, that was just another thing that I thought about. One was just on His name, Al-Latif, and the other was just on trusting Allah, and how Allah's trusting in Allah never fails you, SubhanAllah, never fails you. So what's something else that I was thinking about? The last reflection that came out of this, SubhanAllah, is just of all things that Allah could have tested us with or sent our way, it's just the reminder that this was a fire, SubhanAllah. And I truly feel like Allah had averted us, or my family and me, from a fire, SubhanAllah. It just made me reflect that was all Allah's doing. Allah is the one who created that fire to be there, but He's the one who took us away from that fire, SubhanAllah. And it just made me reflect that just to me felt like a little symbolic of what our akhirah is, that it's only Allah who can avert me and my children and my family from Jahannam. It's only Allah, SubhanAllah. The way that Allah averted this fire away from us today, Allah is the only one that could avert us from the fire in the afterlife, inshallah. So yeah, that was something that I thought was really profound, that just little bit of that it was just a reminder, SubhanAllah, that it is Allah who saves, Allah who protects, Allah who averts, Allah who guides. That's pretty much what happened. I guess I'll put little footage of the fire in here. That was it from my end. Now I want to hear from you guys. Tell me times when you have experienced Allah's name of Al-Latif. When was a time that you remember, SubhanAllah, something so subtle, something so small leading to another thing so small leading to another thing, where Allah was so subtle in how He protected you, or how He provided for you, or how He showed you His mercy? Because sometimes it's we are so forgetful of Allah's mercy or His blessings because we need big things, in our face, flashy, this and that. But the mercy and the blessings, they can be very subtle. So I want to hear from you guys. When was the time that you've experienced Allah's name, Al-Latif, and something else that happened to you, whether it was today or another time, subhanAllah, that made you really reflect and remember when Allah has protected you or provided for you or saved you. Anyways, assalamu alaikum, and I hope to hear from you guys. What the? Guys, get in the house. Yeah, you call 911. Get in the house and close the door.